Okay, so let's get into some frequently asked questions here.
Yes.
These are things that are going to come up, so if we can answer them now and prepare for them, it's going to make life a whole lot easier.
So who should not do the challenge?
So there's very little people, very small group of people that should not do the challenge. Really, the only people that shouldn't be doing the challenge are people who have kind of type 1 diabetes issues where we've got that actual insulin regulation issue. And that's not even to say that you can't do the challenge. It's just have a conversation with one of the doctors beforehand. I've had people with type 1 diabetes do the challenge. We just have to make sure that it's okay to cheat sometimes, right? So if we're taking insulin, if our blood sugar is being maintained through medications,
Right.
there are going to be situations where we need to bring that blood sugar back up pretty quickly. And so we don't want you to go into the challenge thinking that you can't have any sugar and then end up putting yourself in the hospital. So if you think that you've got some sort of crazy blood sugar regulation, if you have type 1 diabetes, anything like that, just reach out to us and we can help kind of coach you through a modified plan.
Okay. What can I do about my withdrawals?
If you've done the challenge before, you know the first couple days, the first week suck. Withdrawals, we get headaches, can feel like you have the flu, super tired and fatigued. Sleep is going to get disrupted a little bit. The biggest thing is just stay the course. Know that it's temporary. And honestly, just use that as motivation that the worse the withdrawal symptoms are, it means the worse sugar cravings or sugar issues you had before. Because that's just like alcoholics, drug addicts, they go through withdrawal when they come off of those types of things. The same thing can happen with sugar. Sugar really is a drug. Now, it's not going to kill you like withdrawing from alcohol or drugs could, but it's going to have some very severe side effects depending on how bad you were with sugar. First time I went through this, the withdrawal symptoms were terrible. I wanted to kill myself, and I had a terrible headache. I couldn't sleep. I was so angry. I was angry at the world for like 10 days. Second time I went through it, because I was much better about my diet the second year, it really wasn't that bad. So just know the worse the withdrawal symptoms are, it means you had a bigger problem to begin with. So you need the challenge even more.
Right.
Drink plenty of water. Make sure you're eating plenty of food still. And then just kind of feed into that. If you feel tired, if you feel like you're not sleeping well, give your body the rest.
Yes.
Because you want to just take a load off and allow your body to heal and repair. And give yourself the time to rest. Work more on meditation, on light stretching, on yoga. Don't try to go run a marathon, which I have to do January 28th. I have to run a marathon. So
well, this will be your third time around. So
yes,
you'll be
third time
better
around.
off.
So we'll be all right. We'll make it work. But just make sure you're drinking plenty of water, sleeping plenty, lighten the load on exercises for a little bit, and just know it's temporary and it will end.
Yeah, giving your body a reset that it probably deserves and needs right now. So speaking of running, what if you get like muscle cramps, leg cramps? What can you do about that?
So a lot of people get muscle cramps and stuff. Again, goes back into drinking plenty of water, making sure you're drinking plenty of electrolytes. We can drop a link for the electrolytes that we use. A lot of us recommend Ultima. My personal favorite is LMNT. It's got much higher levels of sodium. So yeah, if you're cramping, just make sure you're getting all that water in. Celtic sea salt, electrolytes. First thing in the morning, make sure you're getting those in.
Awesome. Now, are there any coffee recommendations?
So this is my favorite thing about no sugar that I hated about the 30-day detox is you couldn't drink coffee. You can take almost anything away from me, but don't take my coffee. So when it comes to coffee, though, coffee can be one of the most toxic things that we drink on a regular basis. You are allowed to have coffee. However, the whole goal is to take a lot of that stress off the liver, off your detox pathways. If you're drinking a ton of coffee that has all sorts of chemicals, pesticides, mold, things like that on it, we're just going to be continuing to push those pathways. So mycotoxin-free coffee is going to be super important. You can just Google search mycotoxin-free coffee. The one that we have in the office that we recommend that I drink every day is just the Bulletproof brand coffee. And all of those mycotoxin-free coffees are going to carry a third-party certification saying that they don't have any of that mold or anything like that.
Perfect. And what about like mushroom coffee? People are into that. I've been drinking that. And mushroom is a food that you can still enjoy. So
yes, you can still have your mushrooms.
Now, what about organ meats?
Yes. So organ meats we recommend for almost everybody pretty much all the time. Organ meats are chock full of really great nutrients, so our body stores a lot of nutrients in the organs, specifically the liver. If we're trying to heal the liver, take some stress off the liver, one of the best things we can do is eat liver, because then we know we're going to get all the nutrients and everything that we need to heal that specific tissue and organ. And we store a lot of our nutrients in the liver already, so it's a really great place to get highly bioavailable, high concentrations of a lot of vitamins, minerals, nutrients, all the stuff that we need. So organ meats really are a superfood. We encourage eating them all the time, especially during a detox, because you're going to need all those nutrients to flush those pathways, to flush everything out of the body.
Awesome. So this is a question we hear a lot. The ingredients in this product contain natural fruit sugars. Is that okay?
So again, natural fruit what?
Fruit sugars.
Fruit sugars. Sugar is glucose. Fruits have a lot of fructose in them as well. But what happens is all of those things get broken down in your body, and your body still has to handle it the same. So we're not saying that there's not things on the list that are good for you. And that's a really important takeaway. There are healthy foods on that list of things that you can't have. Just know it's only for 30 days. The goal here is we're taking the stress off the body. We're eliminating all the sugar. These are things that we'll reintroduce. We're not going to reintroduce all that stuff, but beans, berries, kombucha, things like that, we'll work on the plan to reintroduce those things. But for the 30 days, no sugar.
Okay. So talking about some toilet habits, what if you get constipated?
So yeah, your body's trying to clear a bunch of stuff out. If you get constipated, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Again, we also have aloe. You can use the relax powder. We want to keep things moving because there's 3 phases of detoxification. We've got the first 2 phases that happen in the liver. The 3rd phase is actually clearance through the digestive tract or through the kidneys. So if we're not able to clear everything through the digestive tract, it doesn't matter how many toxins we're pushing out through the liver. They can start to get recirculated if they're just hanging out in the gut for too long. So I want to make sure we're getting that digestive tract moving. So if you feel like you're constipated, make sure we're drinking plenty of water. We're doing aloe vera juice. Typically, we recommend about 2 ounces with every meal. You can even just fill up a glass and chug it. And then the relax powder as well.
It actually helps a lot.
Yes, it does.
Now, one more question, because I feel like people will ask this. What is the difference between this and a ketogenic diet?
So, okay. We could talk for a long time. Maybe we need to make a separate video about keto.
Maybe.
So this diet is keto, but keto is not this diet.
Right.
So keto means high protein, high fat. When your body's not utilizing sugar for energy, it's going to start to use fat. And that process of breaking down fat, turning it into energy, is ketosis essentially. So if we start adding sugar in, it's easier for your body to utilize sugar to make energy than it is to utilize fat. However, fat, the same amount of fat is going to actually give you more energy than sugar will. So we want to be using fat for fuel, not sugar. But when there's a ton of sugar present, we're going to start using that over fat. So when we talk about getting into a ketogenic state through a keto diet, it means that we're eliminating all the sugar. We're keeping our sugar really, really low so that our body can start to activate those pathways that break down fat. And that's why you get more energy, brain fog goes away, things like that, because we're actually getting more energy and it's a cleaner fuel to burn fat. So the problem with a lot of keto diets is they tell you eat high fat, eat high protein, and then people go and do what's called dirty keto, where they're doing all sorts of things that they shouldn't. They're not focusing on good, healthy fats. So this list, there's things on this list that you're allowed to have on a keto diet. This takes it a step further, and we're focusing on eliminating bad things instead of focusing on adding a ton of protein and a ton of fat and not explaining where those things should be coming from.
Thank you. That helped me.
So, okay, so we got a couple weeks coming up, maybe only a couple days, depending on when you're watching this. So reach out to the office if you have questions. Watch this video again. And again, the biggest thing is prepare, because starting January 1st, it's go time.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Yes. So reach out to the office. April's going to be your support guide the whole time. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Make sure you join the Wellness Way's No Sugar Challenge group.
Yes.
So there's a huge Wellness Way network. We have a group called the No Sugar Challenge group. It's got, I think last year it had almost 20,000 people in it. So that's another really great resource to be able to jump into. Jump into our Lakewood Ranch Holistic Health group. We're going to be posting every week. And make sure you're on our email list so that you can continue getting emails throughout the whole process.
Yep.
We look forward to seeing you on the other side.